Every single year, without fail, something happens in the market that makes you feel like the sky is falling. But here's the dirty little secret. Most of the time, it isn't. Understanding the difference between an intra-year pullback and a full-blown bear market might be the single most valuable thing standing between you and a really expensive emotional decision. Let's start with the basics, because the market loves to blur these lines right when you're most vulnerable. An intra-year pullback is a temporary decline, typically somewhere between 5 and 20%, that happens inside a calendar year before the market recovers and often finishes higher. A bear market, on the other hand, is a sustained drop of 20% or more from recent highs, usually lasting months or even years, with real economic pain backing it up. Now here's where it gets psychologically devious, because both of them feel exactly the same when you're living inside them. Your portfolio is bleeding red, the news anchors look like they haven't slept in 3 days, and your brother-in-law is texting you to get out now. The only problem is, one of those scenarios calls for patience, and the other might warrant a closer look. Think of it like a thunderstorm versus a hurricane. Both will absolutely ruin your picnic, but only one of them requires you to board up your windows and flee the city. The market throws thunderstorms at us roughly once or twice a year, every year, like clockwork, and most investors treat every single one like a Category 5. JP Morgan put out a staggering piece of data showing that the average intra-year drawdown in the S&P 500 since 1980 is about 14%, and yet, in roughly 3 out of every 4 of those years, the market finished positive. Read that again, slowly, because that number should fundamentally change how you watch a downturn unfold. The behavioral trap here is almost comically predictable. We see a 10% drop, and our ancient lizard brain screams, danger, sell everything, build a bunker. But that same 10% drop, viewed through the lens of history, is essentially just the market taking a breath before it keeps walking uphill. The irony is that the investors who panic and sell are the ones who lock in losses that the patient investor never actually had to realize. Bear markets are a different animal, and they deserve respect. 19 of them have occurred since the end of World War II, and the average decline is around 36%, lasting roughly 9 to 18 months. The 2008 financial crisis saw the market fall nearly 57%, and yes, that one came with a collapsing housing market, frozen credit, and a genuine fear that the global financial system might actually stop functioning. But here's the humbling part that nobody loves to admit. Even the greatest investors of our generation have confused the two in real time. Warren Buffett himself has said that he cannot predict short-term market movements, and if he can't, the financial commentator yelling on television at 2 in the afternoon certainly cannot either. The lesson isn't that nobody knows anything, it's that process beats prediction every single time. So how do you actually tell the difference while you're in it, before history writes the clean, tidy narrative? You look at the underlying fundamentals. Are corporate earnings collapsing? Is unemployment spiking? Are credit markets seizing up? Or is this just a sentiment-driven correction in an otherwise healthy economy? One of those pictures is a storm cloud, and the other is a Category 5 that requires an entirely different game plan. The most dangerous misconception floating around is that you should time your exit and wait for things to calm down before getting back in. Studies have shown repeatedly that missing just the 10 best days in the market over a 20-year period can cut your returns nearly in half. And those best days almost always cluster right around the worst days, meaning the person who fled the storm missed the rainbow entirely. The practical takeaway here is almost insultingly simple. Size your positions to survive volatility. Diversify so no single drawdown can destroy you, and stay invested through the noise, unless the fundamental picture has genuinely deteriorated. Discipline isn't exciting. It doesn't make for great television, but it is the single most consistent separator between investors who build wealth and investors who just have a lot of dramatic stories about the time they got out right before it got bad. And philosophically, the whole game changes when you stop asking, how do I avoid pain? And start asking, how do I position myself to benefit from the recovery? Every single bear market in recorded history has eventually ended. Every one and every intra-year pullback that felt catastrophic eventually became a footnote. The question was never whether the market would recover. The question was always whether you'd still be in it when it did. So the next time your portfolio drops 10% and the headlines are screaming and your palms are sweating, pause. Before you do anything, ask yourself whether the economy is fundamentally broken or whether the market is just doing what it has done reliably for over a century. And honestly, being comfortable with either answer, whether it's a blip or a bear, is the whole point of having a plan in the first place. Check out our links in the description below, where we can help you get started, whether in real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding the right lenders to build your financial future the right way.